easy to understand why middle children tend to be the opposite of their older siblings. They may turn to art, athletics, or music in order to do so. Following their feelings of being closed or squeezed in between siblings, the middle child often feels they are inferior to others. They protest that parents direct all their attention to the oldest child, and the youngest is always getting what they want. Weaknesses for the middle child may include avoiding confrontation and being easily embarrassed. The last born ends the line of birth order. The youngest in the family is usually considered the baby throughout their lives. Sometimes children born last will not have to learn skills on their own. They know how to get attention by allowing others to do tasks for them. Resulting from this, the youngest may grow up thinking others must solve their problems, even though they're capable of taking care of themselves. Parents and older siblings often spoil the baby of the family. The child then returns those actions by becoming the boss of their own demands. They may be impulsive, irresponsible, and disorganized. Youngest children can also become self-centered and self-indulgent. They have to work hardest at self-discipline and making decisions. As with all the birth orders, being youngest does have both positives along with the negatives. Many times, the youngest is the most creative and entertaining of the family. They're outgoing, optimistic, and tolerant. As a group, youngest have been found to be most socially successful and have the highest self-esteem of other birth positions. In another book by Kevin Leman, entitled Were You Born for Each Other?, he stated that last-born children are caring, affectionate, and easygoing. Now that you know some of the ways birth order can affect the personalities of the oldest, middle, and youngest child, you can evaluate your own family. Does knowing these facts help you to understand your siblings' behaviors? I know I'll now understand the next time my oldest sister starts to act stubborn, or my middle sister complains of having no attention. Being a part of a three-girl family can be challenging at times, but I can get by with the fact that I'll always be the baby.
Each and every one of us is special in our own way. Jenny, small girl, is special in ways many people are blind to. Sometimes the qualities that make us unique and special are not always easily understood or appreciated. The Blue Rose by Gerda Klein. Jenny is a little girl, a lovely little girl. She has brown eyes and dark brown hair. If her hair falls into her eyes, she brushes it away. But her hand does not go straight to her forehead. Instead, it curves around like a flower, first opening its petals, and then she brushes the hair out of her eyes. You see, Jenny is different. Different. Yes, different than most other little girls. But surely all people don't have to be alike, think alike, act alike, or look alike. To me, Jenny is like a blue rose. A blue rose. Have you ever seen a blue rose? There are white roses, pink roses, yellow roses, and of course, lots of red roses. But blue? Every gardener would love to grow a blue rose. People would come from far away to see it. It would be rare and different and beautiful. Jenny is different too. And so, in a way, she is like a blue rose. When Jenny first came home from the hospital, pink baby all cuddly around, she cried more than other babies. Why? Well, perhaps she saw different shadows that frightened her. Or perhaps she heard sounds that were strange to her. When Jenny was older, she'd always run up to her mother and clutch onto her tightly, for no apparent reason at all. At least none we could see. It's said that when kittens lose their tail, they gain sharper ears. It's true that a tail helps the kitten run faster, but a kitten without a tail is approaching footsteps long before other kittens do. Some people don't know about such a kitten's fine ears. They only see the lack of a tail. The children are cruel and stare and taunt. The kitten has no tail! see. Maybe it has beautiful colors. Maybe the colors distract Jenny at times from paying attention when we're trying to talk to her. Or maybe Jenny hears a different music. It is said that fish have a language and a music all of their own, carried by the waves. Music we cannot hear because our ears are not fine enough. So Jenny may hear sounds we never hear. Maybe that's why she jumps up at times and goes into her awkward dance. I sometimes think Jenny is like a bird with very short wings. For such a bird, flying is hard. It takes more strength, more time, more effort. A bird with normal wings takes flying for granted. But a bird with short wings has to work much harder at learning. In a way, it has to be smarter. And so, we have to understand how much Jenny has accomplished when she does learn something. But there is another Jenny, a Jenny who on a stormy winter afternoon sits alone in her little rocking chair, holding her doll in her arms and rocks. She is very troubled and puzzled, and says slowly, "Mommy, Sally says I'm retarded. What does that mean, Mommy? Retarded? The children say retarded and laugh. Why do they laugh, Mommy?" There are many things Jenny doesn't understand. And there are many things other people don't understand about Jenny. That Jenny is like a kitten without a tail. That Jenny hears a different music. That Jenny is like a blue rose, delicate and lovely. And because there are such few blue roses, you don't know very much about them. Only that they have to be tended to more carefully and loved more.
I love hunting. The challenge is thrilling. The narrator of this story is lucky enough to get paid to hunt. Now, if you can just get that deer. The Case of the Missed Deer by Patrick McManus. The sun shone out against the western sky, like a drop of blood on a block. The frozen ground under my feet felt like frozen ground. I feel like a cigarette. If you don't know what a cigarette feels like, then you bet you don't read private eye novels. Fictional private eyes always feel like cigarettes. Sometimes, I think they even think like cigarettes. Maybe it's because that most private eye novels were written by people who write like cigarettes. It goes with the territory. I should know. I write private eye novels. So it's a little surprised when this outdoor editor calls me up. Mr. McManus? Yeah, that's me. Is everything all right? I heard you yell. Oh yeah, everything's fine. Yeah, just fine. Well, the reason I'm calling you up is I want you to write me a hunting article. I get $50 a day plus expenses. They say you get jokes, and I never knew you this funny. See if your work some of those good jokes find that into the article. Business has been slow lately. By lately, I meant the last 15 years. So I decided to take the job. The best part of writing a hunting article is the hunting. That writing stuff comes later. That's when things get really rough. I can't tell you the number of times I've stared into the cold muzzle of a blank sheet of paper. And I'm not even going to tell you about those dangly participles that keep creeping up on you and those commas. God, how I hate commas. Especially those ones with little dots over top. They call them semicolons. God! I get to see semicolon ain't to be trusted. So as soon as the outdoor editor had hung up, I put on my hunting boots. sword holster. Head for the door. My secretary, a tough blonde broad, or should I say a tough broad blonde, yelled at me.
Like, Nick, your gap is showing.
I made a swift check of my person. And immediately took the cost for an alarm. That's the problem with these sword holsters. Too short for the rifle.
Like, what are you going after this time? Deer?
Why, a matter of fact, honey.
Yes!
Going after deer.
Well, like, get lost.
So that's how I came to be standing behind a tree on a mountainside, surveying a clearing in front of me. The frozen ground, the sun no longer shone out against the sky like a drop of blood on the water. It was more like a smear of orange. Jelly! On burnt toast. Frozen ground under my feet. Frozen ground! Try. Okay. Oh yeah, it's cold. Doc Watson accompanied me on this hunt. He's not a real doctor, but a PhD in economics. Whenever people hear him referred to as Doc, they immediately think he's a medical doctor and start asking for advice. Old Doc loves to string people along, sometimes telling them that their prime rate is too high and it could cause the visit to fall off. This usually scares the heck out of me. As a joke, he once performed an appendectomy. I guess it's pretty hilarious. I never heard of it. There's something wrong here, Doc. I'm supposed to meet a deer out here in this corner and hasn't shown up yet. How come I didn't see it?
Because you're standing behind a tree, dude.
That's the kind of mind Doc has, sharp. He can analyze a complex situation instantly. Moving only 6 inches to my left. The tree no longer blocked my vision. I could see as clear as day. Doc, the solution was obvious. Why didn't I see it?
Possibly it's because you had your mind on okay, but it's probably because you're dead.
Now the tree no longer blocked my vision. The breast parted, and a nice buck stepped out. He was a big old fellow. He'd been around. You could tell he knew the score. Which was deer, 15, 0. He sauntered casually out into the clearing, no more than 50 yards away. He was so close I could see the smirk on his face. Such insolence to the deer is unforgivable. And I decided to sell his vision right then. With a smooth, swift motion, I moved the rifle from my holster. Neatly dislodging my left shoulder. Shrugging off the pain, I tried to bring the rifle to a firing position.
Well, it's a good thing I brought my bag along. I might have to remove that shoulder if it becomes inflationary.
You just keep your mouth shut. Let me handle this. Or I'll waste that turkey sandwich.
Why don't you waste the stone and eat a turkey?
For a sarcastic laugh, I